Most of the state of Minnesota, NFL fans across the world, and of course, generally the American population has been mortified in following the developments in the Twin Cities area and Texas regarding star NFL running back Adrian Peterson, former NFL MVP. A fan favorite for sure for many Vikings fans over the course of his career since his rookie year when he electrified Viking fans on the field, including setting an NFL rushing record in a game and dominant games against numerous divisional opponents, which really galvanized fans around the Minnesota Vikings. Unfortunately, recent developments and accusations of child abuse has led the Minnesota Vikings to suspend their star running back. And this got me thinking about a lot of the pressures in the NFL and a lot of the pressure on the team for suspending him. First off, I don't think the Vikings had a choice. They had to suspend Adrian Peterson. What he did, I think, is wrong if indeed the pictures that we've seen published on the internet and pushed in the media are in fact accurate pictures of the 4-year-old son of his which received these injuries. I don't know how you can define that bruising that many times, that multiple bruising, as anything besides an assault. I really don't know how the legal definition can be interpreted any different. At first, when this story broke, I thought this was going to develop a whole conversation in this country about corporal punishment of children versus other disciplinary measures. And I still think that's a conversation we can have in this country. I do think there is a difference between abusing a child and disciplining a child physically. However, my personal opinion is physical discipline should probably always be done with a hand, single strikes, so you can feel it as well. Anything where you use a belt, a stick, any kind of thing like that, a weapon, something that you put between yourself and doing the quote-unquote disciplining, I question as abuse. That's me personally. Others I know have different opinions. Adrian Peterson's attorney has said part of the reason that he used this form of discipline, it was one used on him. The problem is what might have been acceptable 20, 30 years ago, you and I both know the times have changed, and certainly not acceptable today. If you saw your grandchild or child with those kind of marks, and the parent just simply said, I was disciplining them, would that sit okay with you? The second allegation of abuse, I think, was also disturbing. Now, Governor Dayton coming out last week and saying that this is atrocious and for them to suspend him is him playing politics, no doubt. And why wouldn't he? He was the biggest advocate of the Viking Stadium, which is costing taxpayers $500 million, and which their star player, many of us have watched over the years and hoped would maybe lead us to the playoffs or a championship one day in that new stadium. Chances are won't be on the football field, and if he is, have a tough time believing he's going to be playing for the Vikings. Part of the problem with this is that we're not going to wait for the whole legal process to play out, apparently. He's going to be suspended till it's done. This is contradictory to what's happened previously in the NFL. Most players that have gotten in trouble have been able to play or continue their careers as long as it went through the legal process. Think of the Kobe Bryant situation years ago with the Los Angeles Lakers. Even though that was the NBA, similar type situation with the legal accusations, etc. The problem is this has happened at the absolute worst time for the NFL when it comes to public relations in the wake of the Ray Rice incident. The NFL has to seem strong. The thing is, the NFL needs to look inward a little bit as well, because I don't think the NFL acted until what happened? Sponsors started to threaten to walk away. Adrian Peterson's lost many of them. Some other sponsors were threatening to pull advertising or change it, and that affected the bottom line of the NFL. And unfortunately, that's probably what the NFL understands the most, is its bottom line. Adrian Peterson, I doubt, will be back in a purple uniform this year, and I wonder if he'll ever be playing for the Minnesota Vikings ever again. In fact, I think his NFL career a little bit could be in jeopardy. And while I can't say I feel sorry for him, I do wonder if we have no more privacy left in this country, even to discipline your child or to do anything. Although the images we've seen obviously show that this may go above normal discipline. We put these athletes on a pedestal. We put them up there, and then we find out that they're going to fall. They are mere men, mere women, mere mortals. And we have to understand Adrian Peterson, too, from last year's when we found out that he had one son that he barely knew that ended up being beat to death. You'd think a father of children he did know would be a little bit more sympathetic, since one he didn't even have a chance to know was killed before he ever had a chance to build that relationship. And when you have as many children with as many different women as Adrian has, you also have to begin to wonder a little bit more today his moral and ethic makeup as an athlete and as a human being. His paralysis for making touchdowns in the football field is going to go unmatched. He'll go down regardless if this is the last time you've ever seen him in purple as one of the greatest Vikings running backs ever to play the game and one of the best running backs ever to play. Problem is, I think something like this stops you from being a Hall of Famer. I also think something like this can forever tarnish your career. America loves a redemption story. Is there one for Adrian Peterson? We'll see. But right now, I don't think America feels like Adrian Peterson deserves to be redeemed.